As a rheumatologist, I've seen a disturbing trend in seniors' bone health, often linked to one common breakfast food. It's not what you think, and it could be silently dissolving your skeleton. You need to know what it is. Many believe weakening bones are an unavoidable part of aging, but the rise in osteoporosis and osteopenia among seniors tells a more complex story. These conditions, characterized by reduced bone density and increased fracture risk, are not merely age-related inevitabilities. They are significantly influenced by lifestyle choices and dietary habits, many of which are within our power to change. Understanding this is the first step towards taking proactive measures to safeguard your skeletal health and maintain your independence and vitality well into your later years, challenging the notion that frailty is a given. Our bones are in a constant state of renewal, a dynamic process called remodeling, where old bone tissue is broken down by cells called osteoclasts, and new bone is formed by osteoblasts. Throughout youth and early adulthood, bone formation typically outpaces resorption, leading to peak bone mass. However, as we age, this delicate balance can shift. If bone resorption begins to exceed formation, bones become less dense, more porous, and increasingly fragile. This imbalance is at the heart of conditions like osteoporosis, making even minor falls or stresses potentially lead to serious fractures, highlighting the need for early intervention. The consequences of bone fractures in older adults can be devastating, extending far beyond the immediate pain and inconvenience. Hip fractures, vertebral compression fractures, and wrist fractures are particularly common and can lead to a significant decline in quality of life, loss of independence, chronic pain, and even increased mortality rates. Recovery can be long and arduous, often requiring surgery and extensive rehabilitation. The fear of falling can also lead to reduced mobility and social isolation, creating a vicious cycle that further impacts overall health and well-being. Preventing these fractures is paramount. We're often told about the usual suspects when it comes to poor bone health: insufficient calcium intake, vitamin D deficiency, and a sedentary lifestyle. While these are undoubtedly critical factors that contribute significantly to bone loss and must be addressed, they don't paint the complete picture. There's a dietary component, often consumed daily without a second thought, particularly at breakfast, that can actively undermine your efforts to maintain strong bones. This factor is frequently overlooked, yet its impact can be surprisingly direct and accelerate bone demineralization insidiously over time. As a rheumatologist, my specialty involves diagnosing and treating diseases of the musculoskeletal system, which prominently includes conditions affecting bone health like osteoporosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and other inflammatory joint diseases. We delve deep into the underlying mechanisms of bone loss and joint damage, looking beyond surface symptoms to identify root causes. This perspective allows us to see patterns and connections that might otherwise be missed, particularly how systemic inflammation and specific dietary components can profoundly influence skeletal integrity. Our goal is to preserve and improve function. The first meal of the day sets the stage for your body's metabolic processes and nutrient absorption for hours to come. Breakfast, quite literally breaking the fast from the overnight period, can either be a cornerstone of good health or a missed opportunity, even a detriment. The choices made at this crucial time can profoundly influence energy levels, cognitive function, and, very importantly for our discussion today, the long-term health and resilience of your skeletal structure. What you choose to eat can either fortify your bones or unknowingly contribute to their gradual weakening. When you wake up, your body has been fasting for several hours, depleting glycogen stores and preparing for replenishment. The nutritional quality of your first meal significantly influences how your body shifts from a catabolic breakdown state to an anabolic building state. A well-chosen breakfast provides essential nutrients that support cellular repair, energy production, and hormonal balance. Conversely, a poor breakfast can disrupt these processes, leading to blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and an increased burden on your system, which can have downstream effects on bone metabolism throughout the entire day. Making suboptimal choices for your morning meal can initiate a cascade of negative physiological responses. For instance, a breakfast high in refined sugars and low in fiber can cause a rapid surge in blood glucose, followed by a sharp crash. This roller coaster effect not only impacts energy and mood, but can also promote a state of chronic low-grade inflammation. This type of inflammation is a known enemy of bone health, as it can stimulate the activity of osteoclasts, the cells responsible for breaking down bone tissue, thereby tipping the remodeling balance towards net bone loss over time if it becomes a daily pattern. Many conventional breakfast foods are, unfortunately, ultra-processed products laden with hidden sugars, unhealthy fats, sodium, and a host of artificial additives, while being stripped of beneficial fiber and micronutrients. These foods are engineered for hyperpalatability, encouraging overconsumption, but offer little in terms of genuine nourishment. Their regular intake can contribute to nutrient deficiencies, metabolic dysfunction, and systemic inflammation, all of which are detrimental to maintaining a strong skeletal framework. The convenience they offer often masks their poor nutritional profile and long-term health costs. Some might argue that a little bit won't hurt, but when it comes to certain breakfast choices, the issue is often the cumulative effect of daily consumption over many years, even decades. What seems like a harmless or convenient option each morning can, in reality, be contributing to a slow, steady erosion of bone quality. This insidious process may not manifest with obvious symptoms until significant bone loss has already occurred or a fracture happens. It's the consistent, repeated exposure to detrimental ingredients that poses the most significant long-term risk to your skeleton's integrity. Marketing claims can be incredibly misleading, with many breakfast products masquerading as healthy, low-fat, or fortified, while their ingredient lists tell a different story. Cereals boasting whole grains may still be packed with sugar. Low-fat yogurts often compensate with excessive sweeteners. These deceptions make it challenging for consumers, especially seniors seeking convenient and nutritious options, to make truly bone-supportive choices. It's crucial to look beyond the front-of-pack claims and scrutinize the actual nutritional content and ingredient composition to avoid these hidden dietary traps. The truly concerning aspect is that the specific breakfast food I'm alluding to is so deeply ingrained in the morning routines of countless individuals, so widely accepted and even recommended by some, that its profoundly negative impact on bone health often goes completely unrecognized. It's seen as a staple, a quick and easy start to the day. Yet, lurking beneath this veneer of convenience and familiarity is a combination of factors that can actively work against your skeletal strength day after day without you ever suspecting it's the culprit dissolving your vital framework. Certain dietary components, particularly those abundant in highly processed foods, can create an acidic load in the body. While our system has sophisticated mechanisms to maintain a stable pH, a chronically high dietary acid load can force it to draw upon alkaline reserves. One of the body's primary buffers is calcium, and a significant reservoir of this mineral is our bones. To neutralize excess acidity, calcium can be leached from the skeleton, leading to a gradual demineralization over time. This process, though subtle on a day-to-day basis, contributes significantly to bone weakening if the dietary pattern persists. Chronic low-grade inflammation is a silent saboteur of overall health, and bone tissue is not immune to its detrimental effects. Many processed breakfast items, rich in refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and certain additives, are pro-inflammatory. This systemic inflammation can upregulate the activity of osteoclasts, the cells responsible for bone resorption. An overactive osteoclast population means bone is broken down faster than it can be rebuilt, leading to a net loss of bone mass and an increased susceptibility to fractures. Reducing dietary triggers of inflammation is key for bone protection. Phosphorus is an essential mineral for bone health, working in tandem with calcium. However, The ratio of calcium to phosphorus in the diet is crucial. Many processed foods and sugary drinks, often found in breakfast choices, contain high levels of phosphates, often in the form of additives, without a corresponding adequate amount of calcium. An excessively high phosphorus intake relative to calcium can disrupt hormonal regulation of these minerals, potentially leading to increased calcium excretion
and impaired bone mineralization, thereby weakening the bone structure over time if this imbalance is not corrected. Refined sugars and high fructose corn syrup, prevalent in many popular breakfast foods, do more than just add empty calories. Excessive sugar intake can directly interfere with calcium absorption and vitamin D metabolism, both critical for bone health. Furthermore, high sugar consumption contributes to the formation of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which can accumulate in collagen, a key protein in the bone matrix.
This accumulation can make collagen more brittle and less resilient, impairing the quality and strength of the bone tissue itself, making it more prone to damage and fracture. Beyond the obvious culprits like sugar and unhealthy fats, many common food additives found in processed breakfast options can have indirect but significant negative effects on bone health. Some additives may disrupt the gut microbiome, the delicate ecosystem of bacteria in our digestive tract, which plays a vital role in nutrient absorption, including calcium and vitamin D. Others might contribute to systemic inflammation or interfere with hormonal pathways that regulate bone metabolism. While often deemed safe in small amounts, their cumulative and combined effect from daily consumption is a growing concern. The particular breakfast food that I am cautioning against often combines several of these detrimental factors into one seemingly innocuous package. It can contribute to an acidic load, promote inflammation, create a phosphorus imbalance, be laden with refined sugars, and contain various additives. This multi-pronged assault on your skeletal system is what makes it so particularly insidious and damaging, especially when consumed regularly by seniors whose bones may already be more vulnerable due to age-related changes. Its convenience and ubiquity mask its true potential for harm to your bone density. The breakfast food I am urging seniors, and indeed everyone, to reconsider and largely eliminate from their diet is sugary, ultra-processed breakfast cereals. I'm referring to those brightly colored boxes that line supermarket aisles, promising a quick, easy, and often fortified start to the day. While some cereals can be part of a healthy diet, the vast majority marketed for convenience and taste are nutritional disasters, especially concerning for bone health. Their appealing marketing often belies their true impact on your body, particularly on your delicate skeletal framework, which needs careful nurturing. Let's dissect the typical composition of these ultra-processed cereals. They are predominantly made from refined grains, meaning the bran and germ, which contain fiber and vital nutrients, have been stripped away. To compensate for lack of flavor and ensure hyperpalatability, they're loaded with sugars, sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose. Many also contain unhealthy refined vegetable oils, artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives. Even fortified versions often use less bioavailable nutrients, and this fortification doesn't negate the harm of the other problematic ingredients present in the product. The popularity of these sugary cereals, especially among busy individuals and sometimes seniors looking for an easy meal, stems from several factors. Decades of aggressive marketing have positioned them as a quintessential breakfast food, often targeting children and creating lifelong habits. They offer undeniable convenience. Just add milk. Their high sugar content also makes them highly palatable, even addictive, providing a quick but short-lived energy boost. Unfortunately, this convenience and taste come at a significant hidden cost to long-term health, particularly the integrity of our bones as we age. Consuming sugary, ultra-processed cereals regularly contributes directly to the mechanisms of bone dissolution we've discussed. The high sugar content promotes inflammation and can interfere with calcium absorption and collagen integrity. The refined grains contribute little nutritional value and can spike blood sugar. The often present phosphates, if not balanced with adequate calcium from other dietary sources, can disrupt mineral balance. This daily onslaught of detrimental factors creates an internal environment that is hostile to bone maintenance and actively promotes the leaching of minerals from your skeleton. The perception is that these cereals provide a quick, sometimes even fortified, start to the day, offering energy and convenience. Some even carry labels suggesting whole grains or added vitamins, lulling consumers into a false sense of security. The reality, however, is that for most of these products, you are consuming a bowl of rapidly digesting refined carbohydrates, excessive sugars, and potentially inflammatory ingredients. Instead of nourishing your body and bones, they can contribute to metabolic issues, nutrient displacement, and the gradual weakening of your skeletal structure over time. Therefore, as a rheumatologist deeply concerned with the skeletal health of my patients, particularly seniors, I make an urgent plea: critically reevaluate the place of sugary, ultra-processed breakfast cereals in your diet. I implore you to consider removing them entirely, or at the very least, relegating them to a very occasional, insignificant treat rather than a daily staple. The health of your bones, your mobility, and your independence in your later years may significantly depend on making this crucial dietary shift away from these deceptively harmful products starting today. Now that we've identified a significant dietary pitfall, it's crucial to shift our focus towards positive, constructive solutions. The good news is that there are numerous delicious, convenient, and genuinely bone-strengthening alternatives for your breakfast. The goal is to replace those empty calories and detrimental ingredients with whole, nutrient-dense foods that actively support your skeletal health. Making this switch doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It's about making smarter choices that nourish your body from the very start of your day, providing a solid foundation for health. Prioritize foods naturally rich in calcium and vitamin D, the dynamic duo for bone health. Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt or kefir are excellent sources of calcium and protein. You can add your own fresh berries for natural sweetness and antioxidants. Eggs, particularly the yolks, provide vitamin D and high-quality protein. If you consume dairy, milk is a classic choice. For non-dairy options, look for fortified plant milks, but always check for added sugars. Incorporating these into your morning routine can make a significant difference in your daily mineral intake for stronger bones. Don't underestimate the importance of quality protein and magnesium for bone structure and health. Protein forms the scaffold upon which minerals are deposited, and magnesium plays a role in calcium metabolism and vitamin D activation. Consider adding a handful of nuts like almonds or walnuts, or seeds such as chia, flax, or pumpkin seeds to your breakfast. These provide protein, healthy fats, fiber, and magnesium. A small portion of nut butter on whole grain toast or added to a smoothie can also be a great way to boost these essential bone-supporting nutrients in your first meal of the day. If you enjoy grains for breakfast, opt for true whole grains that are rich in fiber. Plain rolled oats or steel-cut oats are an excellent choice. They provide sustained energy, are beneficial for gut health, which aids nutrient absorption, and can be customized with healthy toppings like fruit, nuts, and seeds. When choosing bread, look for 100% whole grain or whole wheat options with minimal added sugar and a short ingredient list. Fiber not only aids digestion, but also helps regulate blood sugar, preventing the spikes and crashes associated with refined carbohydrate consumption that can harm bones. Let's consider some practical, bone-healthy breakfast combinations: an omelette or scrambled eggs with spinach and a side of whole grain toast, a bowl of plain Greek yogurt topped with mixed berries and a sprinkle of chopped walnuts, overnight oats made with unsweetened plant milk, chia seeds, and fruit, a smoothie blended with unsweetened almond milk, spinach, a banana, and a scoop of protein powder or nut butter. These options provide a balanced mix of protein, healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, and minerals essential for maintaining strong bones and overall well-being throughout your senior years. I encourage you to experiment with these suggestions and find what works best for your taste preferences, dietary needs, and lifestyle. The key is to shift away from ultra-processed sugary options towards whole, unprocessed foods. Don't be afraid to try new things or adapt recipes to make them your own. The most sustainable dietary changes are those that you genuinely enjoy and can incorporate easily into your daily routine. Making breakfast a priority for bone health can be an empowering step towards a healthier, more active future, giving your body the real fuel it needs. To recap, your choice of sugary, ultra-processed breakfast cereals can severely impact your bone health, contributing to skeletal weakening. As a rheumatologist, I urge you to switch to whole, nutrient-dense breakfast foods to protect your bones and quality of life. What's your favorite bone-healthy breakfast, or what change will you implement? Let me know in the comments. If this was helpful, please share this video with loved ones, especially seniors. You might just help save their bones. Subscribe for more health insights and remember to discuss significant dietary changes with your doctor or dietitian.